What's going on, guys? It is your boy Junior from P&P Customs coming back at you with another video. Today we're going to be talking about this 2025 Range Rover Sport. What we're going to be doing on this car is the LED panoramic roof film. So what it essentially is, it's kind of like a tint that illuminates off of LED. So he'll have a couple designs up there. Right now it's nice and dark because of the tint, but not much design. So we're going to give it some more life and put a film on there that has LED. The client specifically ordered two designs. And he's going to see which one he likes best. If you guys don't remember this guy, this is the guy that brought his Range Rover in to do the ambient lights. You can see it turning on. We did an amazing job. He definitely loved the work. This guy is always supporting the business. I think this is his 5th or 6th time here at the shop. Check it out. Those are the ambient lights that we did here on the Range Rover and in the center console. Here is a close-up on the doors. But now he can match the tone or the accent color of the ambient lights with the LED film at the top. So you can do red, blue, green, whatever. You can match those with this. And at night, this car is just going to come to life. It's going to look amazing. Now, he didn't want anything too crazy where it's like galaxies and stars. He went for some simple stuff where it looks original. All right, so this is personally my first time removing the headliner off of the 2025 Range Rover Sport. I tried to look for some videos online, and they only have videos on how to do it for the prior generation. So I'm going to go into this a little blind, but super excited, learning experience. Gonna take our time, make sure it gets done right, and yeah, the client's gonna love it. So hope you guys enjoy this ASMR of removing the panels and the screws. I'll come back to you guys when that's done. There also seems to be a clip right behind the dome light, so if you just kind of tug on it a little, there you go. Loosen those clips. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I do believe we are ready to remove the headliner. You can see we kind of organized our things. Everything is in plastic Ziploc bags. We also tag them as well, that way we know exactly where they go. It looks like it's loose, but I feel like it's ready to come out. I am having an issue with the visors though. The visors themselves, they have like this plug right here, or this wire, and there's no way to unplug it. If I pull it very lightly, you can kind of see the male there, see that? But it doesn't come out at all. And I can pull it. Obviously you don't want to pull too hard because then you'll break it. But no luck there. Same thing on the other side. So I believe I kind of have to drop the headliner, make it a little loose, and then I'll be able to see the male plug. That way I can unplug it. And the dome light, I just loosened this up. That way I can just kind of push it down, and I guess once it's down I can slide it this way. I don't think there's any screws there, but yeah. Or you can go ahead and do it like this. I'm not sure why I didn't think of this earlier, but you can stick your hand through, since everything is loose, you can stick your hand through the headliner and pull the plug out like this. Obviously it's not long enough to come out through this hole, but it is long enough to kind of get pulled to the side. So through here we can kind of unplug it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done on both sides. Once we remove this headliner, I learned a fun fact, and you can see as I pan around the headliner, there is no clips. There aren't any clips that hold up the headliner. It's actually held up with magnets, which is crazy. I've never seen that before. I've worked in so many cars, taken out so many headliners, and that's the first time I've seen that. The original plan for this car was also to remove the headliner, that way we can work a lot more easier. But then we realized that the headliner was not going to come out unless we took out the lower back pieces. We deemed that being unnecessary labor, as we can work just fine like this. Yes, it will be a little harder, but it's still doable. So we went ahead and plastic wrapped the entire vehicle to keep everything safe and new. If this was a Starlight job, then yes, we would have to remove the headliner to work fine. But remember, we're not doing anything with the headliner. We're working on the panoramic roof. Remember in the beginning of the video, I said that this client ordered 2 designs for his car because he was very indecisive between the 2. He knew he wanted one of those, but he didn't know which one yet. And he says, let me see how they look in person and I'll choose. So now there's more than 150 designs and patterns to choose from. So I'm talking whales, I'm talking pyramids, galaxies, stars, suns. There's like a whole bunch of stuff that you can do with this paper, but he really wanted something that looks original, which is why he's going for this like very simplistic design. So this first style I would describe as just being a grid of Mercedes logos. That's the best I can describe it. And then the second design he ordered to choose from is the grid of dots. You can see it's very simplistic. Now his thought behind ordering this one as well as one of the options he's going to choose from is that he says the high-end BMWs come with this type of design by factory. Not obviously this one specifically, but something very close to it. I'm sure you guys can do a little bit of research and check that out. After I showed him clear videos of both, he ultimately decided on choosing the grid of dots design. With all that explaining out of the way, we can head into the next part of the video. So, believe it or not, they're already placed in. My tint guy came last night and tinted him on. I'm not sure if they add like this bluish hue or if it was like that originally, but if it does, that's also pretty cool. But they're already on there. So what it is kind of like a film, kind of like a tint that you put on the glass, but instead you put it on the sunroof, and it has an LED pattern to it. So what's left on the list? So for now, we do have to mount the light bar, the RGB one that kind of reflects the design off the LED film. And on top of that, we have to handle the wiring for that light bar. So we have to connect it to the ignition or accessory fuse. That way he doesn't have a battery consumption issue. And on top of that, we also have to organize our wiring because this panoramic roof opens. And if it opens, we have to have it in a way where it doesn't pull the wire for the light bar. So we'll organize that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the, oh, there's like a little fly there. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same exact way we did the Acura MDX. That one also opened and we did just fine there. So we're going to try to just duplicate that same job onto here. I can do my best to explain what's going on in the background clips. That way you guys kind of understand how this system actually works. So the tint doesn't illuminate by itself. It doesn't magically turn on. As you can see, all the film does by itself with nothing else added to it, just adds a bluish tint to the glass. One might not even know that there's a tint on there. So how does it light up?
So the ink or the designs themselves on the paper illuminate off of light. So when you buy this system, not only do you get the paper and the wiring, but you get an LED bar for each side. The LED bar is meant to be installed in a specific manner because if you do it incorrectly, you won't get the full illumination. We have proven this because you can see in many clips that we're shining a flashlight directly at the film and you still don't see the design. So the LED light bar gets installed right next to it and it illuminates through the paper, and that's when the design comes to life. So that's when the job gets a little complicated when you add wiring because the glass itself moves. It's not stationary. So you have to organize the wiring in a way where it doesn't get snipped or it doesn't get pulled or the light bar itself doesn't fall down. And of course, it's one thing for the system to be functional, but it also has to look good. So we also have to find a way where the light bar isn't seen and the paper looks like it's magically illuminating. It's kind of like the same idea of underglow kits on the car. The secret is to not show the LED, but just the glow that comes out of it. That way you get the cleanest look. So yeah, it sounds simple, but of course, once you really think about it deeper, it is a very complicated job. The hardest part, of course, being organizing the wire in a way where it does not get pulled when the client wants to open his panoramic roof. And not only that, you don't want the wire to short circuit off of so many times that it gets bent and pulled. So in this part of the job, you really have to study how the panoramic roof works. It works different in many cars, different types of motors and stuff like that. It's mostly a trial and error type situation when it comes to this part of the job because you have to keep trying till you get it right. After some patience and work, you can see that in the background clip, it closes perfectly fine.
We got to a point where we can open it and close it 100 times and there will never be an issue with it pulling in itself, so we're all good there. We ran the wiring from there. You see we have some zip ties there, we just have to cut them. Right now we're organizing everything before we put the headliner back in. Ran it through the original harness, through the plug, down the A-pillar, down to the accessory fuses that we used for our ambient lights. So the lights now turn on by themselves. So now we have to reassemble everything back together, test it, make sure everything works. And just like that, we are heading into the best part of the video, which would be the showcase. So in summary, like I said, what we did in this 2025 Range Rover Sport, we added the panoramic roof LED film. So essentially what it is that it's a film that has a pattern on there. It has 150 patterns to choose from, so you can really get down and personal with it to see which exactly you like. This client specifically wanted the one with the dots. It closely resembles the one that comes in the new BMWs by factory, so that's kind of what he was going for here. So nothing too crazy with galaxies and stars like our other Acura MDX video. If you guys haven't seen that, check that out. I think that was like 3 videos ago where we did the same exact job, but he chose a different design. This client wanted something original looking, you know, something that would come with the car by factory. So let's go ahead and head inside. Don't worry about the mat on the top. We have the mat over there because we're gonna resemble what it would look like at night. Of course, all of these lights are a lot more brighter when it's nighttime, since we have a like super bright LED. What do you call those? Let's just call them LED bars. They kind of shine through, and they don't really do so well with the light bars. It doesn't shine as bright, so that's why we did that, to resemble what it would look like at night. Let's put this bad boy in ignition and then put the cover outwards. We're gonna have to deal with the beeping for now. I'm sorry about that. Check that out. Isn't that crazy? And then it's gonna keep going all the way to the bottom. Isn't that sick? So like I said, this is something that's original looking. It looks like this would come with the car by factory. Of course, if I remove the mat from on top, then you'll be able to see through. So it's not like there's a film that's covering the panoramic roof. So if you turn this off in the daytime, it would look like nothing was done. I mean, you guys saw the videos on when we were doing it. Check that out. And it comes with a Bluetooth app, so we can go ahead and change the colors. And to display that, I put the app on a rainbow cycle, so it's gonna showcase all the different colors. Check that out. And it comes with a color wheel, so if you're really looking for a specific color that's not primary, you can really search through it and like even go down to the hex code to get an exact color that you're looking for. I know it looks like the front part is brighter, but that's just an illusion of exposure. They're both equally as bright. It's just the position I'm in right now, but check that out. So yeah, remember I said he had the ambient lights here, so he can match the ambient lights, the color of the ambient lights, with those, and he can also turn it off. And like I said, if he turns it off, you guys have seen it before when we were installing it, it looks like nothing was done. It only adds kind of like a bluish hue, but that's not even that is noticeable. Damn, that looks absolutely sick. and of course paired with the professional installation here at PNP, so it does not mess with the motors of the panoramic roof. I have the mat up there, so I can't really showcase it right now, but you guys saw it when we were assembling and testing the wiring. It comes with a spring-like wire that kind of stretches and also kind of sucks itself in. So when he opens the panoramic roof, it stretches so it doesn't pull in itself. And of course we organized it and wired it in a way where it won't get caught by the motor and like snapped in half or short circuit. So he can open it 100 times without an issue. Let's go ahead and get another angle. Here's a nice angle, and like I said, there's over 150 patterns to choose from. So I've seen a couple, they're like whales, there's some with pyramids, there's some with galaxies. There's just so many patterns and designs that you can really choose from. This is one of the most basic ones, but like I said, this is what the client is going for, something original looking, something that would come with the car originally. And like I said, the new BMWs, there's a model, I'm not sure which one it is, that comes with this by factory. So he was just kind of replicating that. Looks really good. So the job really turned out fantastic. There's not much to it. It's not like a radio where I have to talk about a whole bunch of features and benefits, cons and pros. It's literally just a tint slash film that reflects off a light with a hidden light bar. Of course, what you're paying for when it comes to this kind of job is not the piece, like the merchandise is cheap, but it's the labor in doing it that's gonna cost you the most. If you guys want a direct quote, you guys can call the shop and let us know and we'll take care of you. But that just turns out amazing. Check that out. You guys know we do it best here at PNP.